Welcome to ComSpark. Today we are in Cincinnati, Ohio. My name is Louie Hollmeyer and I will be your guest host today. I would like to welcome our guests, JR Howard and David Burley with UPIC Solutions. Guys, thank you for joining us again.
Thanks, Louie. Thanks for having us.
Good deal. I know there's some unique things going on with what you're doing. Maybe you can talk about those challenges that you have when you're out supporting United Way organizations nationwide.
Sure. So, over the last 3 years, really, UPIC's undergone a massive transformation in the way we handle United Way's technologies. We've gone from traditional servers on site and legacy systems that weren't cloud ready or capable of being up in the cloud to really transforming all that from a traditional data center where UPIC had been for the first 18 years it was in business to now to where everything's up in Amazon's cloud. We've been working hard to ensure that transition was smooth for over 2,400 users and 70 organizations across the United States and one in Canada now. So we've been working hard to make sure that all of that gets transferred without any interruption to not only the United Ways, but to their donors and their agencies and everyone that they're supporting in their communities. You can't, communities don't stop working while we make a transition to the cloud and move their services to the next level. So it's been a busy couple years at UPIC as we start to get that transition and really leverage United Ways to spend more time in their communities and doing the great work that they do for them to help them get to that next level.
Excellent. I mean, that's such a worthy cause because United Way is out doing great things. There's some unique things around the public cloud and AWS, right? I know a lot of people can't manage that environment.
Sure.
And is there anything, David, that you want to add there?
Sure. So, our strategy really was how do we take technology and move it from where it was then, which was a commodity service. So, where people just go and they expect technology to work for them, but they don't expect it to be part of the business. They don't run their business through technology. Now you really need to leverage it as a strategic advantage, for what you're doing. And so in this case, the United Ways really need to start leveraging technology for things like figuring out where the problems are in the community, figuring out how to use that to better engage with their donors, and how to bring volunteers into the right location to make an impact in their community. And so the migration to the cloud for us was really about, let's get something off our plate so we can think more strategically about how technology can impact the business.
Excellent. It's interesting because everybody thinks Domino's makes pizzas, but they're really a technology company. And I see you're going out and you're helping enable United Ways to do their job through technology. That's pretty interesting. You try to kind of, since you know what you're doing, right? Are you taking repeatable processes in terms of like crowd strategies to each individual organization?
Yeah, so that's been a big part of what we've done. And when I took over as CEO, almost 4 years ago now, I had a mentor that asked me, and it was a great question. Well, what did UPIC do? So I went into the usual pitch. Well, here's what we do, and here's how we support. She's like, no, I understand what you do with technology and how you do all that, but what does UPIC do? And I wasn't ready for that question. Well, the answer ultimately was we fight for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community alongside our United Way partners, which was something I wasn't prepared to answer then. I know it today, and I could easily tell you, yeah, this is exactly what we do and what we're fighting for. But we take those things we've learned in all these communities and really create a shared service and those shared learnings, because although every community is different in how they're impacted and what they need at specific times, the technologies and strategies are not that different to getting them more data quicker and ready to access out in the field where they're working with their communities.
Is AI coming into play at all?
In
terms of data and them being able to learn where the issues are and the process, and expedite process. I know that's a big grand term.
No, it is, and it's, I think, and I'll let David hit this a little in a minute, but I think it's starting to. We're getting their data now more consistent and standard to where you can start to analyze some of those things with AI that before where when you had your data all over the place, a little harder to analyze with AI. And David, I don't know what your take is.
So there are really two main places where AI comes into play, and I'd say it's really new technology that's really just starting to come into play here. The first is on the donor side. So now we can take the information we know about the donor and apply AI to it for what we know about other donors, and use that to really direct the message we're sending to the donors and the volunteers and the community that we're engaging with, in order to make sure that we can really personalize the communication that we're having with them, and make sure that we're tying the message to them, which really pulls on the heartstrings and hopefully allows more impact to be done as we really get that message out to them in the way that that individual wants. The second is when it comes towards impact in the community. AI can be used to pull data together from disparate sources and figure out what either the challenges are in a particular area, or what even a particular individual needs in terms of their condition and challenges, and apply, give knowledge back to those who are providing that help to make sure it's provided both optimally for the individual and in a cost-effective manner.
Excellent. That's great stuff. I wish we had more time to talk today, but it's very cool what you're doing by enabling United Way organizations through technology and through your expertise to better their jobs and do more for the community. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Louie.
Thank you, Louie. Yeah.
I would like to thank JR and David for joining us today, and for those listening to the interview. To learn more, go to comspark.tech.